Hello everyone. In this session, we will look at transaction handling in Cloud Application Programming Model. While this is not part of the SAP UI5, I have checked out branch 7, and let me go ahead and run this branch. So the few changes that I've made in this branch is in the entity set employees. I have marked the fields first name, last name, and email as not null. So if you supply in the value null for any of these fields, the insert is going to fail. And then in my master controller.js file, in my initial values, the default values for all the three fields is null. Instead of empty string. It used to be empty string in the previous branches, so I've changed it to use the value null right now. So now that my application is running, if I go into my application itself, let me go ahead and refresh this application. So I'm going to create a couple of rows here. So create, and then let me go ahead and put in some values here. And this is a valid entry because all these fields have some values in it. They're not null. But then let me go ahead and create another row. In this case, the email field, I'm going to leave it as blank. So by default, this value is going to be null because that's what we have set up in our master controller.js file. So now if I do submit, so this is going to the CAP framework. The generic handler is going to handle it for us, and the generic handler is going to treat this entire thing as a transaction, and it is going to reject this entire transaction because the email value here is null. So if I go back to my application itself, really we didn't have to do anything. There's no custom code for the handler. The generic handler is taking care of everything for us. So let me go ahead and hit submit changes. So I don't have any kind of error handling here, but you can see at least in this response that there is an error, and the email must not be null. So this was rejected by the backend. And even though this was a valid entry, this new entry that I added was a valid entry, because this is treated as a transaction, if I hit refresh, none of the rows got inserted. So both the rows got rejected because it was handled as a transaction, and you only see the two entries that were existing to start with. Okay, so that is the session on transaction handling. Hope that helps. Thank you.